is this woman fantasising, and suddenly she listened to the Hairy Cornflakes, on radio every Sunday morning, whatever it was he was on, and suddenly decided that, I'm going to have him, I mean, this could happen to any one of us grumpy old men,
Well,
goodness me, we could have our female listeners phoning and reporting us in 20 years' time, saying, I went in the studio, and I mean, I left you in the studio yesterday with Lady Effingham's little protege to photograph.
I was a little bit worried about that, actually.
Well, I went away and I thought, what is he doing? He's got the microphones there, he's got headphones, and a very attractive little young lady there to photograph.
All right.
And, I'm going to talk to her because
we'll
make a fortune, because I'll get her to claim something and it'll be in the Milton Keynes Express.
20 years' time.
Oh, no, it's gone now, isn't it, Milton Keynes Express?
20 years' time.
Yeah, 20 years' time,
He's going to start up a new paper called the Milton Keynes Express.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Just to get Bob.
But it's the other thing about it is the cost of it, isn't it?
Oh, it's...
taking up court time, which, they're always saying that they haven't got enough court time. Someone's getting rich out of this,
look, it's glamorous.
Barristers. They've got to employ them.
It's glamorous, and the police love it, don't they? I mean, a high-profile name.
What's happened to Sir Cliff? We've heard nothing more about it since the raid, have we?
No, we don't know anything about what the reality of that situation is. Just somebody's made some accusations about him again that happened many years ago. Who knows?
I mean, talking about this, a little bit different to this, but I mean, these things disappear out of the press, don't they? What's happened to the girls that were kidnapped in Nigeria?
They're still kidnapped.
Are they? Because I've heard nothing about this for months.
And they, the people who did it, have been going in and murdering people in Nigeria and have been doing other raids, and it is quite a worrying situation.
But there's been very little in the media about this, isn't there?
Well, you surprised?
Well, I don't know.
There's more talk about Ebola out there, isn't there? Than
indeed.
The poor little girls, I mean, it's just as
3,000 people have died because of Ebola in Sierra Leone alone.
Isn't this nature's way, though, from sort of...
Wiping out the population,
bringing down the population.
My mother-in-law always said we need another war to keep the population down.
Didn't they declare it yesterday?
That's true.
Well, yeah, possibly.
What about this business about old Qatada, Abu Qatada? He was cleared by a Jordanian military court of terror charges. Now there's actually a possibility.
Don't bring facts into the matter, Mike.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but the point is, Brian, that there's an awful possibility that he might attempt to return to Britain and continue to live on welfare.
No, as a prescribed person, he won't be allowed back into the country. Now, the fact that he's prescribed on something for something he didn't actually do, according to the Jordanian courts, is neither here nor there. But he's still on the prescribed list.
But I mean,
we had other people slip in.
We couldn't get rid of him, So I mean, he might become one of these immigrants at Calais.
And Chowdhury's been arrested, isn't he, as well now?
Yes.
Oh, well, Chowdhury, I mean, he's another kettle of fish as well, isn't he? So.
Absolutely.
I noticed, Brian... sorry, no, you're not Brian, it's all right, you're Bob. You were talking yesterday to the caretaker here at Interaction, Pear Tree Bridge, the old rectory. Yeah. You were talking about putting conkers down to around the house to keep spiders away.
Old wives' tale, but it seems to be working. I mean, we've had a lot of spiders, and I put conkers down, as my neighbours did. Neither of us have had any spiders since.
But where do you put the conkers? I mean,
in corners of rooms and things like that, under chairs where they hide.
Oh.
We had a plague of, not plague exactly, but we had quite a number of large black house spiders, and they've seemed to have disappeared. And they're looking at it, they are actually experimenting with this, some chemical society or something. They think there's something in some properties in conkers that they don't like.
Well, it's pretty obvious if it works, isn't it? But I mean, sort of.
Well, some of these old wives' tales do work, don't they? Yeah, So
you can be seen throwing sticks up the tree to knock the conkers off.
No, a lot of people don't seem to be playing conkers these days, do they? Health and safety. And
you can't.
So the conkers are all on the floor.
You can't, I mean...
Well, somebody said to me that's a myth, that you cannot play conkers in schools.
It's total myth.
Yeah,
totally. Of course you can.
There was one incident.
There was one headmaster who did it, and he did it to make the point about health and safety legislation.
Did it to get publicity?
No, I mean, when I was at school, we used to soak them in vinegar and bake them in the oven.
Absolutely right.
You know, and I'll tell you
well,
what.
Not when I was at school, this was when I was at work. We used to have a Conquer League when I was in advertising.
The reason there's not so much Conquer's Play is that most people are on their iPhones.
Well, that's very true.
We've got Angry Birds on iPhones, haven't we, and iPads. We could have Angry Conkers.
Oh,
we could invent a new game, couldn't we?
What, with their bent iPhones?
Yeah. Well, the new one, isn't it? It come out apparently. You know, if you sit on it, put it in your back pocket and sit on it, it'll break in two. Apparently, it's so thin.
Yeah.
Most parents.
They've had a lot of problems with it, haven't they?
Oh, talking about Apple, because I had this horrible thing last week when my iPad decided to seize up and it didn't do anything. So I rushed along to the Apple store in Milton Keynes, which is a great place. And if you've never been in an Apple store, then I could recommend it, actually, because I found it more than fascinating, because when you go in there, up to the sort of help desk area, there must have been 50 people there, I suppose, and about 10 staff, something like that. And they're all geeks. You know,
aren't they just?
They've all got earrings in and in-nose rings and lip rings. And,
you can't possibly buy technology from somebody who's got.
Well, they hang them up at night, don't they?
I mean, Mike, that would be so outrageous. Imagine that could contaminate your whole entertainment profile.
This is
some of those people with piercings even speak in public to customers.
I know.
I'm surprised that, what sort of an organisation...
What do you mean they got their phones long enough to speak to the public?
Some of them have actually got tattoos as well.
They did?
Yeah.
Yes, tattoos.
And they know about technology.
And Mohican haircuts.
Mohican haircuts, piercing and technology.
Funny little beards.
All seem to run together.
Did they have sandals?
Yes, there was Jesus Christ sandals there as well.
Did they wear sandals,
and did they understand apps? And did they understand apps?
Yes, this was the thing. You see, you didn't let me finish my statement. You just rambled on, as Liberal Democrats normally do, not knowing which side of the fence to jump off, But they did. They fixed my iPad for me, and they were very good. And yes, I was fascinated by this thing because, yes, I did call them geeks, and they are geeks.
Did you have to pay for it?
If you've ever been to the Gadget Show in Birmingham, it's well worth going because, it's like walking into a different planet. Because they're all geeky, they all run around and anyway, it's fascinating. But the point
probably used to drive
the point I want to make is the fact that Apple did very well. They got an extremely good customer service there, because they didn't try and sell you anything, and they looked at your problem and they solved it. And there was a lot of people there with problems with their phones and that sort of thing. The point that sort of hit me very, very hard was the fact that they work on an appointment system there. So you've got to book up, and it's a bit like going to the doctors. But the fact is that there must be a lot of mistakes and problems going with Apple products because they've got a lot of people there queuing up waiting to get their Apple products sorted. Their apple pies sorted.
Apples, yeah.
That's me over.
Rotten apples, are they? Rotten apples?
No. I would say the apples are...
Get down to the core of the problem and solve it for you. And I think that the Apple people...
You found out a maggot in his apple?
Yeah.
There are other brands of geekiness.
Computers, that's right, This is a little bit worrying as well, gentlemen. We were talking about... what's his name? Travis a little while ago, But paedophiles and stalkers, apparently, are using £25 software to hack into their victims' computers and watch them on a webcam. Because this sinister software, I'll say that, get my teeth right, is part of an unprecedented array of technology, now enabling criminals to spy on people and steal sensitive data. And in fact, when I was away last weekend at a conference, a guy got a pen out, and he said to me, this is marvellous, he said.
What, a pen?
A pen. He said, this is marvellous. He said, because there was stuff being put up on the overhead projector screens, and what he was doing, he was just clicking with his pen, and it was taking photographs, and
like something out of James Bond.
Yeah, and he wrote notes with his pen as well. And I said to him, yeah, you can get those on the internet, can't you? They're about £10. He said, yeah. He said this one was £40 actually, but he got the upmarket version of it. But it records, it does sound, and it takes video, for about 3/4 of an hour or something on this little tiny pen.
I've got a pair of glasses that's actually a high quality video camera, but they just look like a pair of glasses.
Well, you would, because you're a film director, aren't you? I mean, you need these sort of things.
I do. They're actually props for the film. But we bought them online, and you can get them for as little as £7 now.
Yeah.
You can buy glasses that have got a built-in video recorder because the technology has got so incredibly cheap. And it's so good. I mean, the quality that you're getting is what people paid a significant amount of money for some hefty, awkward-to-handle video camera some years ago.
That's only 3 or 4 years ago.
You're getting the quality now on you can get it on a pen or a pair of glasses.
Well, it's in all SLR cameras, and they've got video cameras built in.
Yeah.
If people want them. I mean, I want a camera to take pictures, not to film.
But isn't it nice to be able to capture film that actually moves?
Yeah,
I've got a video camera I never use.
This is the good and the nice upside of these sort of things. But this is terrible really, because this surveillance software or spyware can be bought from unreliable retailers like Amazon, for instance, for between 25 and 50 quid. Yep. All that happens is an email is sent to the victim with a photograph attached, and when they click on it, they unwittingly activate the spyware.
We should never open an attachment on an email.
Why?
I mean, that's what brings viruses into your computer.
Yeah, but
we do it all the time. I send pictures of people.
Yeah,
you have to. How else can you get them to them?
No, but if you know the person, then that's fair enough.
Yeah.
But if you get an unsolicited email, spam, and you click on that attachment, that's the worst thing you can do.
You deserve all you get.
Well, but the problem is you don't know it's not from somebody you know, because these days
I assume if I get something from a bank, it's a spam.
Yes, so do I.
Yeah.
It will be, yeah.
Never open anything from a bank.
No.
Pick up the telephone and go and talk
or
to the bank.
Inland Revenue. Or
Inland Revenue,
yeah.
The Inland Revenue don't email you.
No, they don't. Inland
in
Revenue
fact,
don't do much.
The bank don't email you either.
No,
they certainly don't email you saying there's a problem with your account. Can you please log in here?
Don't they?
No.
Oh, they asked me the other day for my...
What we do need to do is educate people. There's some simple rules with computers. There is no such thing as privacy on a computer. It does not exist. Everything, even the most encrypted messaging systems...
Microsoft don't ring you to say you've got a problem with your computer.
Well, no,
we can put it right for you.
Microsoft have a problem with their security, so they have to use Linux to actually fix their security problem.
Well, they've all got problems with their security. Look, people need to get real. There is no such thing as security on a computer. It does not exist. Anything can be hacked. Every email you write can be read by somebody.
GCHQ.
You should never put anything in an email that you wouldn't put in a postcard.
I think that we should be very careful here, because this is an internet radio station.
Yeah, it is an internet radio station.
Our listener this morning is probably now shaking in her shoes, or his shoes, because they're probably thinking, oh my goodness me, I'm listening to the Grumpy Old Men on Secular Sound. Yes, are they looking and seeing have they hacked into me?
Well, the answer is yes.
Yes.
No, it isn't. It's one or two people I wouldn't want to hack into.
A few years back, where they had one of these cameras that was in a particularly bad litter spot, and there was somebody, every time somebody dropped the litter, they said, pick it up.
Yes, yeah. That's a good idea, actually. And talking about picking it up,
where are we heading with all this?
We're heading for 9 o'clock, because it's 2 minutes away from 9 o'clock here on Secular Sounds, community radio for Milton Keynes.
Plain Talking with Mick Bannister, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Secular Sounds. Check in for an hour of scintillating chat and music with Mick Bannister and his guests from the world of film and literature. He'll be talking about their achievements and inspiration, and finding out about the books and music that accompany them on their travels around the world. Get to know the person behind the headlines. Catch Plain Talking with Mick Bannister, Thursdays at 8 p.m. here on Secular Sounds. This is Seclo Sounds, and you can listen to us by clicking Listen Live on our homepage at seclosounds.org for a choice of players. Via TuneIn Radio at www.tunein.com, search for Seclo Sounds and listen online, or download the TuneIn app. You can download the Seclo Sounds iPhone app from the iTunes App Store, and you can listen to us on demand at our replay page.
MK Pulse proudly sponsors Seclo Sounds. MK Pulse is Milton Keynes' local magazine, bringing helpful information on food, health, fashion, money, travel, culture, and much more to 66,000 readers every month. Plus news, views, and what's on from around the city. If it's happening in Milton Keynes, it's in MK Pulse, and it's available online at www.mkpulse.co.uk. MK Pulse and Seclo Sounds, the heart and soul of the city.
artists together on seclosounds.org.